How is this not cheating? Nikki Haley got 48% of the New Hampshire Republican vote last night compared to Trump's 52%. So she didn't win, but how on earth did she garner such a relatively good result among a group of Republicans that are unanimously behind Trump at this point? Well, there's something fishy about the way that these Haley voters identify themselves, but let's let CNN explain.
Take a look at the numbers. Among Trump voters, 70% of them, according to our exit polls, are registered Republicans. Donald Trump, his support, 27% of his voters are registered undeclared or independents. 3% were unregistered before today. Look at how that compares with Nikki Haley. It's a complete reversal. It's an alternate universe. Among Haley voters, 70% are registered undeclared. Only 27% are registered Republicans.
So as you saw, 70% of registered Republicans did vote for Trump last night, yet he only received 52% of the overall vote. Meanwhile, Nikki Haley collected 48% of the overall Republican vote, but it was less than 30% of registered Republicans that actually voted for her. Lo and behold, as it turns out, 70% of the votes that Haley received were by voters that have an undeclared party affiliation. This means independents and moderates. In many cases, the Haley voters don't even support her, and they'll outright tell you as much right to your face.
Who did you vote for and why?
Yeah, so thank you. I voted for Nikki Haley, and it was certainly a strategic vote. I think the DNC is fairly resolute in their nomination for Joe Biden. And while I wouldn't vote for her in a general election, particularly on our differences with climate change solution, a woman's right to bodily autonomy, or incarceration rates, I think a vote for Nikki Haley helps diminish Trump's influence in the RNC and their nomination, but is also a vote towards democracy.
And Christian is emblematic of so many conversations that I've had here throughout the day.
The results are clear. Republicans are choosing Trump over Haley in large swaths. It was centrists and last-minute re-registered Democrats that are infiltrating the New Hampshire Republican primaries in an effort to swing the result.
Why did you vote for Nikki Haley?
It's a vote against Trump. I think it would be better to have her against Biden in the elections than it would be Trump and her.
Do you consider yourself generally independent, Republican, or Democrat?
Democrat.
So when you undeclared, you voted for Nikki Haley. If it was Nikki Haley against Joe Biden in a general election, who are you voting for?
Joe Biden.
Guys, get ready, because we're going to see similar results in other states that have open primaries. There are dozens of states that run this way, and they literally, legally allow Democrats to influence the results of the Republican primaries. The Democrats are effectively choosing the Republican nominee. What? In fact, New Hampshire doesn't even have an open primary. They only allow Republicans and unregistered voters, but the vote was still split nearly evenly because the moderates came out in such extreme force. We are going to experience Democrats and independents flocking to the Republican primaries in the states that they're permitted to in order to thwart Trump. And what about the states with the closed primaries? Well, let me introduce you to an organization called Primary Pivot. Right on their own website, they list their plan to stop Trump. Right there, black and white, they're calling for Democrats to re-register as Republicans in these states in order to vote for Haley and elect her as the Republican nominee rather than Trump. To all of my loyal friends and followers, this is yet another example of election interference, and it's manipulation by the left. Keep in mind that the DNC literally canceled their primary vote and will not support any other candidate besides Joe Biden. So you're telling me that Democrats are just gonna sit on their hands at home on primary day and they're not gonna vote in that Republican primary? You're out of your mind. They are doing it. They are changing their registrations, and they are voting for Haley just to spite Trump. And in the states with open primaries, expect Trump to lose and Haley to win. The activist Democrats are going to show up in droves to change the result of these Republican primary races and add their undue influence to a decision that is not rightfully theirs. Please follow me, but more importantly, get out there and vote for the candidate that you prefer. Thanks for listening. Be sure to share this video and stay tuned to find out what happens next.